Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Relationship Show. I'm your host, Midori Verity, and today we have a special guest with us, and she's going to help us feel more confident in your body. Do you ever think if you were thinner that you'd feel sexier? Many of us do, and she's going to be talking about that with us today to help us overcome those body image issues that we have. So join me in welcoming Melinda Parrish. She is a plus-size model for Ford Models Chicago, which, if you're not familiar with them, they are ginormous. She's also a blogger for Huffington Post, and she's working on a book of essays called Confessions of a Recovering Fat Kid. So we're going to touch on that as well. Her passion is helping inspire women to feel beautiful, happy, and loved in their bodies. So welcome to the show, Melinda.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you.
Great. So we are going to get started right away because we have lots of questions that we want to know from you. I want you to talk about growing up. Because, you know, the name of your essay is Confessions of a Recovering Fat Kid. Tell us about your experience growing up, but also how you've come to feel so confident today in who you are.
Sure. Well, as the title might suggest, I was always sort of a bigger kid. And I guess really for me, when I started to trace back feelings about my body and where I got to as an adult, it all really started in childhood for me. So I started to kind of like mine back for those funny, but also sort of heartbreaking stories about the kid who like was trying to fit in or didn't feel like they were normal. And I think that's really common. The more I talk to women, especially women who consider themselves plus size, it seems to be a pretty common thread. And then even women that I talk to who have thin bodies that, you know, most people would consider perfect, can cite issues that happen in their childhood or even as adult women, just not feeling comfortable and trying to assimilate and normalize themselves. So that's kind of my point of view. With my own body, I can really say that every day I still have to kind of like catch myself, whether it's maybe an unhealthy behavior, or maybe I'm like pushing myself really hard, or just sort of like talking myself down. It's never something I think that we really fully get over or eradicate, but it's just something you get more balanced with in terms of confidence and body issues. So being a plus size model has definitely brought that really to the forefront of my day-to-day. It's on my mind. I know it's on a lot of other women's minds. And yeah, so I've just really enjoyed opening up a dialogue about it.
I love that. And you talked about the mindset, and that's the biggest obstacle. And just like you said, it doesn't matter really your size. It's all relative, and it's all based up here, right?
Right.
Some of the most beautiful women who I grew up with have the lowest self-confidence. So it's a matter of how we frame it in our mind. So can you give us some tips on that? Some of the tips that you incorporate into your life to help you feel confident when maybe, you know, just some of the kind of the ninja tricks that you use for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So most people, if you're like me, there's sort of a cycle that repeats itself. And whether it's like habits that you're in, and like every day you wake up and you eat the same thing, and maybe it's not healthy, and then you feel bad about what you ate, like the big breakfast sandwich or whatever that is for you. A lot of us get caught up in that cycle of feeling bad and shame, and then like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym and do 2 hours of cardio and try to work it off. And then I come home and I'm exhausted and I'm hungry, and then I wake up and I do it all over again. So a big thing, ninja trick, if you will, is the pattern disruption. So when I start to, whether I've eaten the breakfast sandwich or not, when I start to have those negative thoughts, I try to like get up out of my environment, which you can't always do. Like if I'm on set, I can't just say, I got to go for a second. But if you're able to get up and like go to the bathroom or just walk around the block and replay some positive thoughts for yourself. Like, hey, I'm really happy with my outfit today. I felt really good on my run the other night. The guy at the kebab stand just checked me out, and that was pretty nice. Like whatever it is, just try to draw more positivity in. And over time, if you can kind of catch yourself having the negative thoughts, it gets easier to program yourself to think more positively about your body.
it's almost like a practice, just like you said.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the more you take those negative moments and noticing them and then reframing them into a positive, it just becomes kind of who you are more of the time, right? It's just
exactly.
I love it.
And it's not about perfection and completely getting rid of the negativity, because that's never going to happen. It's just about getting to a better place with it. And I thought Ashley Graham, who was recently on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and everyone knows how fabulous she is, she actually did a TED Talk where she opened up by doing positive talk to herself in a mirror on stage. And that was the opening of her TED Talk. And I thought that was so perfect, because that's really where it starts.
Absolutely. The way that we talk to ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
And, the point is that by saying it out loud in the mirror, this, this is probably an exercise that you use, you were just kind of talking about it, but by saying it positively in the mirror and looking at yourself, there is a psychological thing that happens in your mind. It's kind of, it's brain science. It actually works. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's an uncomfortable thing, and sometimes not an easily achieved thing. Like if you work in an office, it's hard to find the moment where you can go talk to yourself in a mirror.
They might be talking about you at the water cooler, but yeah.
So, I mean, it's working into your life in a way that works for you, that's realistic. There's plenty of evidence to back up a whole bunch of different approaches, but it all boils down to, just like you're saying, reprogram the way you think about yourself and try to make it more positive than negative. And then that's a good day.
That's a good day. I love it. Okay. So you also talk about, you encourage women to change the way that they think about their bodies, kind of their mindset on it, and versus focusing on the weight loss or the physical transformation. Can you explain that a little bit more to us?
Sure. And I think you probably can relate to this. And any woman who's, worked hard in her life to achieve something, it can be so easy to apply that thinking to our bodies and say, like, I'm going to lose that 10 pounds. I'm going to tone up my tummy. I'm going to get rid of my jiggly arms or whatever it is. And then you get so focused on that goal and so focused on what you don't like or what you're trying to change or make different. You don't leave space to appreciate. It also leads to injury, eating disorders, and other kinds of sort of unhealthy, unbalanced behaviors. For myself personally, I was working my body really, really hard in my early 20s. I ended up having multiple back surgeries by the age of 23. And it was like, okay, something's not working here. Time to revisit this. Yeah. So I really just hope for other women that it doesn't have to be that extreme. And in the fashion industry, I encounter a lot of women who have had eating disorders. Some are still going through it. And you just really hope that it never gets to the point where you are hurting yourself before you realize, it's not about perfecting your body and changing it. Love your body as it is, embrace it as it is, and then figure out ways that feel really good to you, that are fun, that you want to get moving, or, treat it well through diet and the right amount of sleep and hydration, all those things. But it really comes, you're not going to do that if your body is a plant and you hate that plant and you're just thinking, I want to get rid of that branch there, and I wish the flowers were different. You're not going to water it. You're not going to tend the soil. You're not going to do all the things that you need to do for that plant to be the most beautiful plant it can be. And the same is true for your body. So yeah, it really is back to what we were talking about a minute ago, which is positive thoughts and appreciating what you have.
Yeah. And also what I heard you say, I think, is give yourself a little bit of a break. Don't become so overwhelmed that you need 3 back surgeries. But I think if we take off that pressure from ourselves a bit, it makes it easier to deal with life in general, but also in how we think of ourselves. Just kind of give ourselves a break. Overall, lead a healthier lifestyle, but don't get so overwhelmed with it.
Yeah. And, perfectionism is a huge topic for me personally, and one that I'm covering a lot in the blog right now, because it is that time of year where it's like bikini season time, and you're seeing the workout guides and the 90-day shred and the 30-day detox and all this crazy stuff. Yeah. And it really starts to drive that cycle of perfectionism where I'm going to commit to some crazy plan and either, run myself down or make myself sick or hurt myself trying to keep up with it. And then when I quit, I'm going to feel bad about it and not go to the gym for a while. And it's not fun. It's a lot of, a lot of pain and a lot of anguish where you don't need it.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so true because every single woman, I don't care who they are, they go through what you're talking about to some level. So I know we all relate with that. So I'm glad that you spelled it out for us. Okay, there are days where even though we're doing our positive talk, even though we're not pushing ourselves too hard, but we're eating healthy and doing all the things that we think we should be doing, there are just days or moments in our life where we feel like crap. We don't want to get out of bed. We just don't feel good about ourselves. So since you are in the beauty industry, look at you, you're so gorgeous. Do you have any little secret hacks that we can do to make ourselves instantly feel better about ourselves or prettier?
Sure. I mean, it's really good to know in your beauty routine, like what does that go to? And for a lot of women, it's lipstick. For other women's, it's like bright colored eyeliner or even like a special outfit or a perfume, and figure what that is for you. And it's like a superhero identity. I feel like garbage today, but I'm going to get up and put on that bright red lip and I'm Wonder Woman now. I'm ready to go and I feel great. And yeah, I can break through whatever funk I'm in.
Yeah, I experienced that this week. I was just feeling just kind of cruddy, actually really cruddy. I hadn't been to the gym. I just wasn't myself. Mm-hmm. So one day I just stayed home. I worked from my house and wore my pajamas all day, didn't do my hair. I looked like Fred. In fact, my son brought his girlfriend over and I thought, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not doing this again. So the next day I got up, even though I still felt not myself, did my hair, took a shower, put the full makeup on, did this perfume. Yeah. And there's just some type of transformation that happens in my mind. Even though I still didn't feel fabulous, I felt way better.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then you're having fun too. You're kind of like, you're out of the funk. You're not taking it so seriously. You're like, let's throw some lipstick on this and get through the day. So that's what fashion and beauty are for. Have fun with it. Have
fun with it and just get through that day. So don't overthink it too much. Just get through the day. It's going to be better.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that. Okay. So Melinda, how can we find more information about you? Because I just think you're so fabulous. And I know you have a blog and you have all kinds of great information for us. Where can we find more information on you?
Sure. Well, I'm pretty active on Instagram and my handle there is Mel Parrish Plus. And then my website, melparrish.com, kind of has a little bit of everything if you want to snoop around and find out more about all this stuff.
Okay, great. And then also, in case you didn't write that down or you don't know how to spell her name, as always, you can find it on my website, midoriverity.com. Just find her blog post, and it will be at the very bottom of it, and you can find out everything about Melinda. So I encourage you to find that out because she has some great blog posts and information for us to help us feel our best. And that's what I'm all about, feeling our best, even on those days when we don't feel our best, finding the way to kind of dig ourselves out. So thank you so much for being with us. You shared some amazing tips and tricks and mindsets, which it helps all of us. So I appreciate it. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been really fun chatting with you.